Okay, so gonna go again. Gonna go again because the last one I did was perfect, and of course I wasn't recording it. So let's try again, but I'm gonna hold off on the rudder this time on finals. It's something that my instructor said when flying a single prop. He said some people, use the rudder on finals, or you can fly into the wind. Let the wind bring you in and use the rudder just as you touch the ground. So yeah, it's a real squally old day out there today. So let's just double check. We have one notch of flats, flaps, parking brake off. Give it a little bit of trim as well, just to get us off the ground. Although with this wind, we shouldn't need to. So here we go. Powering up. Power up. And off we go. We're looking for start a lot of rudder. And 90 knots wheel off. 120 rotate. Oh, flaps up. Gear transition. Gear is up. Throttle back. Takes time. I think it takes about 8 seconds or something for the turbo to throttle back. So yeah, maybe I shouldn't have trimmed it because now I'm trimming back again. So 200 knots, climbing 650, coming up 700 feet, and before we get to Fincham, we are going to turn at a 30-degree bank, and I'm going to keep bringing it round. We're on 200 knots. We're coming up to 950 feet and leveling off nicely. We are at 80% RPM, 200 knots, coming through 150. Keeping level. Keeping speed, 200 knots, coming 120, 120. Strange, altimeter seems to be dropping, but we won. So just want to bring that up to 1,000. Going to level off at 060. We're heading for that large cloud, that large downpour over Swaffham. So we're on 1,000 feet. I am at 79% RPM. So I don't want to let it drop too far. 060. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the golf course, and I am looking for the reservoir. I believe I can see the reservoir. I think the wind has taken us off course here by quite a lot. I think that's the reservoir, and I'm unsure at the moment on my visual cues. I cannot see Swaffham. I cannot see the turbine. I'm going to continue on here at the moment. Roger that, Roger that, listen to me, what a twat. I have the golf course inside, and I have the reservoir now, so it was pushed a little bit over, no problem. I've got the 2 turbines, and I'm going to keep my height, but bring it round. Now I'm looking for the solar farm and the lake. So I can see the solar farm, I can see the lake. We're heading out towards that rainbow, and I'm going to start configuring for a landing because we have a good speed. We have 190 knots, so let's give it a touch of flaps. There we go, and push forward to counteract that. Give it a little bit more now. Bring it on the engine and gear. Come on, gear. There we go. One green. Give me two. Give me two. Two greens. Alright. So there we go. 150 knots. Nice and steady. Gonna come through this shower. Put it back on the stick. Gotta get a little bit more power. And we need to start bringing it in for our final. Trimming the aircraft now. So that I'm not pulling back on the stick all the time. Okay, so airfield in sight. Of course, with these speeds as well, I'm not having to use the air brake. Okay, crabbing across the sky a little bit, but I'm not using the rudder. So 140 knots. Alright, I'm going to bring the engine down, 84. And we're going to do the last flaps, pushing forward to counteract that. We'll bring our speed down a little bit more. There's our airfield, nice and clear inside. Possibly a little bit high as far as I can see. We've got, and no, we might have 2 whites, 2 reds. I'm not sure on that at the moment. Okay. Speed's coming down 120. I'm just powering up a little bit more. I don't want any less than 120 really. Not using that rudder at the moment. Okay, 120. Keeping on that. 2 whites, 2 reds. That's good. 500 feet a minute. 120 knots. 150 feet. Easing off on the power, looking toward the end of the runway. Getting ready to counteract this wind. Pulling off. Pulling off. Cut the engine. Pulling off. And beautiful touchdown. Holding the nose up. Holding the nose up. Past the lights that shouldn't be there. That's it, holding the nose up, full left rudder at the moment. That wind is still keeping us up. And kiss the ground. Always jokes over there once you use the foot brakes. There you go. So maybe not as neat as I wanted it to be, but we were down. That was good.